This is the speaker is today's speaker is Professor Shu-Qing from University of Wollongong, Australia. Now I have the privilege to introduce Professor Shu-Qing to all the participants. And one of the very interesting thing and very great thing about Professor Shu-Qing is that he is the designer of the three gorgeous dam in China. He is the one of the or pioneer in the design of the three gorgeous dams in China. You know, one of the largest dam in the world. So he also is doing a lot of work to the India. He was the his brainchild is a concept called coastal reservoirs. You enjoy the coastal reservoirs, Professor Shu-Qing?
Yeah. Yes.
So I had the opportunity of inviting him to Andhra University. He was with us for 3 days discussing coastal reservoirs. He has a repository of knowledge in the coastal reservoir. And the government of India is also contemplating to do in the Gulf of Kutch. What is that place, Shu-Qing?
Guwahati. Oh, no.
Kalpasar project.
Kamasa, yes.
Yeah, it's a huge project. The government is trying to do that.
Yeah.
And he is one of the foreign expert member. He used to occasionally comes to India and do the help us this in designing of these structures. Now, he studied water quality and environmental impacts of coastal lakes in US. In Singapore, he concentrated on technology of coastal reservoirs and its improvement. He visited the South Korea's experience in coastal reservoir design. He helped the initiation of Shanghai Qingsha Coastal Reservoir and got the city's council award. So many of the coastal reservoirs in China speaks about Shu-Qing. He is one of the founder of the International Association for Coastal Reservoir Research. The fundamental research, he has rectified Albert Einstein's and his son's mistakes in sediment transport theory. Is one of the very good hard researcher in sediment transport theory. He developed the event-based average method to replace the Reynolds time average methods in fluid mechanics. He is also strong knowledge in the fluid mechanics and Reynolds average methods. And with this, I would like to introduce Professor Shu-Qing to the audience, and he will continue with the topic called Droughts and Water Management, a lesson from the Murray-Darling River in Australia. So he always travels across the world, moving one country to the another country in a month. So gaining lot of practical experience, field experience, in addition to its research experience. Thank you, Professor Shu-Qing, and joining us and giving your great lecture to the participants. Now over to the Shu-Qing. Please continue.
All right, Professor Reddy, thank you very much. Sometimes I feel I'm very lucky. I have a good friend like you. I also feel our student in your university is very, very lucky because you, the good leadership, you know what will happen, and then you can. I remember last time you told me every year you organize the workshop for your student for your university in course engineering, and then to guide our students for the future. So I can, on behalf of your student, on behalf of your university, I like to say thank you, Professor Reddy. You are really good leader in the world. And today, thanks for your invitation. I have the opportunity to talk about the Australia's experience. Look at this title and then this figure. This figure, you can see this is a very probably you don't know this animal, kangaroo. The logo of Australia. Last year, the weather was so dry, and then the kangaroo died in this way, shocked the world. So you can imagine water is so important for Australia last year. And I'd like to share with you the story of Murray-Darling River Basin in Australia last year, what happened and what we can learn from that. And then what can we use the Australia's experience, what things they did very good which one is Australia's weakness we can fix. And then next time for India, how to get better the water management for Indian people. And so first, this is my outline, Australia and India, the background difference and the similarities. And climate change, and I know this workshop's title, very important one, climate change. You will see the climate change's impact on Murray-Darling River Basin. This is the largest river basin in Australia. You will see Australia always use, similar to your country, always use upstream water management strategy. That means they build dams in the upstream, use the water, and then the agricultural farmlands around the water source, around the dam, and then forget the downstream water management. Now, we have to say it's time to change it for Australia and also India also. And then you will see if they don't want to change, big disasters will come. Australia last year we had. And then we say coast reservoir, as just now Professor Reddy said, coast reservoir, what's right? And then how to solve our agricultural and environmental problems. And then finally I have conclusions. Okay, the story comes from 2015, 5 years ago. All UN members signed what we say SDGs. It is number 6 about water. In the document, the UN and its members, including India and Australia, says 40% of global population will have the water problems. We don't have enough water to drink. And we say, on the other hand, the UN document said floods have big problems, and then disasters contributed to 70% of the all deaths related to natural disasters. In the world, all people work on the 2 problems in a parallel way. One group of people try to increase water supply, like desalination, try to recycle our wastewater for drinking, and another group of people doing the flood mitigation problems. They never work together. But now we have to say it is time for us to work together to change the flood into our water resources. This is the document in 2015. In 2016, 1 year later, another group of researchers said that 40% is not very accurate, say 2/3 of the global population live on the condition of severe water scarcity at least 1 year. 2 years later, another paper published in Nature says this year 70% of global world's population suffers at least 1 month of the water scarcity. So you can see, and then predictions. This one probably everybody you already saw this one already. Australia and India, red color. Red color means high to extremely high for water stress. We have the same problems. So if we compare Australia and India, you will see the land area, Australia is bigger. If Australia cut half of this land, that is India's land. But in terms of water, India much better. Your rainfall, almost more than double. Your runoff, this Australia's runoff kilometer cube per year, and this is your runoff to the ocean, how much water you have. You are much better. In terms of water usage, Australia use 20%, 20 kilometer cube per year, and you have every year use so much this one. In terms of population, Australia is much smaller than your population. And if we compare two largest river in your country and Australia, we say Murray-Darling River Basin. Murray-Darling River Basin, I say this river, the size almost the same. This Australia so big, the green color is this Murray-Darling River Basin. That is so big. How big? About 1 million kilometer square. How about your Ganges River? Same. The size are the same. But in terms of water, your one much bigger. Your rainfall in this catchment, our rainfall is 440 millimeter per year only. But your one triple than this one. Definitely your population also very high. Now you can see Australia, the largest river basin, is very dry. The average annual rainfall is 440 millimeter per year only. Okay, now we talk about climate change. Climate change in Australia, we had a very sad story. In 2008, a group scientists submitted a report to government. They predict by before 2020, we will have big fires, bushfires. This happened in our.
Australia is accustomed to some of the cleanest air in the world, and yet in December and January, Canberra and Sydney have seen some of the worst. In December, being outside in Sydney was the equivalent to smoking 37 cigarettes in one day. Australia is being ravaged by bushfires right now. At least 18 million acres have already burned, roughly equivalent to the size of the country of Ireland. At least 2,000 homes have been destroyed, and 29 people have already lost their lives. Australia is the most fire-prone continent on Earth, and people living in Australia have been used to bushfires as an annual event for over 60,000 years. This time is different because we're really starting to see the effects of climate change take place. Australia's been in drought for over 3 years, and its temperature has risen by more than 1 degree Celsius over the course of the last century. We have to remember that climate change doesn't cause bushfires, but it does make them more intense and more likely to occur. The smoke from Australia's wildfires has been so large and so intense that it's already circumnavigated the globe. Smoke from eastern Australia reached the country of New Zealand across the Tasman Sea, a distance equivalent to that between New York City and Haiti. In 2018 alone, we saw 21 climate-related events, including the wildfires in California, the drought in China, flooding in China. We also saw 2 hurricanes across the east coast of the US, as well as the summer heat wave in Europe and more bushfires in Australia. This is just a smattering of the events that we've seen, and in 2019 we saw even more, including flooding in Indonesia and the floods in the Midwest of the United States. Australia is the world's 2nd largest exporter of coal, makes it the world's 3rd largest exporter of carbon emissions. There are a number of options where Australia can combine economic growth with climate change action. It doesn't necessarily need to choose between the two. One example is Australia is already a world leader in renewable energy, and there are a number of other paths forward where Australia can step up and provide an example for other countries around the world.
All right, this happened. The prediction is very accurate. Last year, Australia had a big bushfire. How big? So big area burned. Very sad. And automatically, the close linkage between climate change and water. This is why we should pay more attention to our water, not only bushfire. The report also said climate change by 2030 is likely to reduce average river flow by 10 to 25%. NACI will also observe this one. And then we also have this factor runoff into Perth Dam has declined by 50% since the 1970s. This is big problems for us to deal with. This is our dam.
Went through a really significant drought at the beginning of this century, what we often refer to as the Millennium Drought. It lasted for 12 years, and the inflows to our reservoirs were unprecedented in terms of how low it was. We had 100 years of inflow record, and still the inflows of this Millennium Drought are significantly lower than 100-year record. And what we realized from that is that climate change has in fact resulted in a change in climate where the historical data can no longer provide us with a reliable means to predict and forecast future conditions. That has significant implications in terms of how we forecast and plan our future infrastructure. We know that climate change is now reaching a point where reliant on historical data would significantly compromise our ability to build resilience to future uncertainties. That clearly showed us that our cities are very vulnerable to climatic extremes, whether it's droughts or floods or heat. And the heat and the bushfire that was created also threaten the security of our water supply catchments. As a result of that, Victorian planning of our urban water resources now takes into consideration the need to build a diversity of water sources, whereby we need to look at all the water sources that are available in our city. And in fact, our cities are water supply catchments. The rain that falls in our cities are resources that we will not normally exploit. The wastewater that is generated from our cities, we do not recycle. And now we have a strategy to look at delivering stormwater out.
All right, now we can see we have the climate change, but we scientists can predict what will happen. Sorry. What's wrong? All right, scientists can predict we have climate change. We will have more problems, more often droughts, bushfires. And then the next step for engineers, especially water engineers, is how to do. What kind of things we can do. This is very important for us to answer. I hope my one is working. Yeah. This one not only happened in Australia, also happened in India. This Indians rainfall, annual rainfall from 1901 to 2013. You can see in the past maybe 20 or 30 years, the highest one has been decreased. This is why probably we say we will have the problems for, okay, let me see this one. Oh, I hope my one is working.
Xing Yang,
Yeah, can you see?
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you are trying to play videos, please try to increase the volume.
Increase the volume.
Yeah, when you are trying to show the videos.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
I will
please, thank you.
try to do it.
Right,
Okay.
please.
Probably my this one doesn't work. Okay, I will show you this video in here.
All the way over to Saudi Arabia, the difference is the air there is dry. It's extremely humid in northern India and all of India, so it takes a while for the body to recuperate if it can at all. No rainfall, really, much to speak of. A passing shower in Rajasthan, a little bit of cloud cover.
Yeah, increase the volume.
Okay.
Where the monsoon typically begins. This is not what we need to see. The monsoon
Yeah, okay, now good.
and then runs through September and then retreats from the
Little more.
for you. This is
Yeah.
something I showed you before. The last several
Is
that
okay for you?
maximum? Is that maximum?
Yeah, maximum already.
Oh, okay, fine, right.
70 to see what the difference is. Let me explain. First of all, June 1st, that's the beginning as mentioned. It didn't start until June 8th. I know that doesn't seem like a long period of time, but the farmers don't know when to plant their seeds and they can't plant early until they can track that rainfall. That green line, now the white line, is where the current position is. It should be up near the border of Pakistan. So there's an incredible amount of real estate that every well is drying up, every reservoir, and now the death toll is at 126 because of the heat. A decline in the average rainfall days. This is why we're seeing a shortage. An increase in the number of dry monsoon days. Groundwater depletion rate, we're seeing 10 to 25 millimeters per year. To go further with this, and this is what's staggering, the crop season in summer and in winter has seen since 1970 an incredible drop in the amount of rain across the entire landmass. This is depleting the groundwater. We showed you a video a couple of weeks ago. People are digging down below the wells that are dry to try to find any water whatsoever. What could happen without improved water management? This is a government issue here. 21 cities, and by just next year, could run out of groundwater. That's just next year. Now the projection in 10 more years. By the year 2030, 40% of all of India could have no water in their groundwater and no access to drinking water. We're hoping the monsoon rains kick in the next couple of days, and right now, India ranks 120th out of 122 for countries that are in current need of water and are in a water crisis. This is an unbelievable story that could get worse in the days ahead.
All right. You can see this Indian's rainfall in the past 100 years, and then we can observe the decrease in the past 20, 30 years. This is what happened, observed last year in Chennai. Run out of water. Day 0 in Chennai, June last year. Chennai almost run out of water, and then luckily last year we have this water in the in July. This year, just you saw, 21 cities may have the problem for water, and then 2030 we have 40%, about 50%, 2 in 1, 1 in 2. We have the water problems. So this is big problems, and this one will become worse and worse if we say climate changes happen. This one we also now Australia probably the first one observed the field the climate changes consequence. This is what happened in rainfall in the past 100 years also. You can see this one decrease from here to here, rainfall. For Murray-Darling River Basin, here, this is the Murray-Darling River Basin, 1 million kilometer squares. It is water resources, only 6.1% of total water resources. But almost all agriculture works are conducted here in Australia. So this is a big problem for us. So previously, all the government in the world, including India and Australia, how to do that? How to solve our problems? We try to build our dams in the upstream. Now look at this dams in upstream. This Murray-Darling River Basin. Murray-Darling River Basin here. the dams are built here. And our farmers are developed, use the water around the dams. Same thing for India. This Indian dams. In total, Australia has 500 large dams. And India, 10 times more. Worldwide, another 10 times more than India. If you look at the dams construction over the past 100 years, you can see the peak time is this period, 1950 to 1990. After that, now almost no new dams. There's big problems. And even for our new dams, our dam has same thing like our university, our structures, our bridges, everything. This infrastructures, we have it in lifespan. Normally, our civil engineers are designed structures lifespan 100 years. So by this year, the water has no more new dam, no more dams left. All has gone. Look at it in USA. Look at how many dams they removed every year. They have increased in future. So this is a big problem for us. For Australia, our dam construction, same thing like this pattern. That every year, how many dams we construct worldwide? How many dams we constructed in Australia? By this year, 2010, 2015, 0. No more new dams. Because our population is increasing. But on another hand, sedimentation is reducing our reservoirs capacity. So combined together, there's two effects. Our storage per capita in Australia decreased from 1985 now to here, similar to this year, 1960. Just finished the Second World War II. So this is a big problem. Now we look at climate change. We know climate change has a big problem. Australian government knows this one very well, well informed. But how the government's reaction, how Indian people can learn from Australia's failed Murray-Darling Basin plan. As I said, Murray-Darling River Basin, this Australia Murray-Darling River Basin is this one. We have 3 million people, 2.6 million people. And we have 9,200 educated agricultural business. Every year, we have how much dollars? 24 billion agriculture industry benefit. So this is the most important one for Australian people's food. Every day, our dining table has the things come from this region. It is so important. Look at this distribution here, all this upstream and the middle reach, not too much, almost all the upstream. This basin is used for what we say beef, crops, cotton, dairy cattle, and grapes, rice, sheep, so many things, the distribution here. But if look at here, this is our river mouth. We don't have enough activities, farmlands in the mouth, in the downstream area. Look at this one. And if you look at this temperature and in future, now we need to ask whether this business can last for next 100 years or not. and how these farmers, how our rices come from, is sustainable for our next generation? We need to ask this question. The answer is not. Why? Because of climate change. This data measure the temperature from over the past 100 years. Above the mean temperature, below the temperature. Now you can see all the temperatures after 1990 or 1980s, and then the temperatures above the average in the Murray-Darling River Basin. And what the scientists, the Australian scientists, is very, very good. They exactly predicted what will happen to our Murray-Darling River Basin. They say the temperature, average temperature will increase. Daily maximum temperature will increase. Daily minimum temperature will increase. Number of hot days increase. And bushfire increase. But based on water, they say cool season rainfall decreasing. Snowfall decreasing. Soil moisture decreasing. Evapotranspiration increasing. None of this one for our agriculture decreasing. And the intensity of extreme rainfall, that means flood, will increase. The flood disaster will increase. And the time in drought will increasing. Frequency of severe drought increasing. This one we already observed. In this year, we have very dry, and then last year we have a very dry again. The frequency increasing. And the government's action is to build dams 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the rivers. I call this strategy as upstream water management strategy. The first step, they build the dams, the wheels along the rivers. And then they build the farmers, agricultures around the dams, because you have stable water supply. If we don't have the dams here, some years we have water, some season we don't have any water in the river because the rainfall is not very high. So farmers will lose the profit in dry years. Once you have the dams in the upstream, and then the water supply in very dry years, the farmers still have water, so every year they will have the profit. They can support themselves. So this is why we have the farmlands and now this infrastructures. So you have to remember, always we have the water infrastructures first, and then we can develop our water uses surround our water sources. This past 100 years, 150 years, how about our rainfall, our runoff to the ocean? Average so much. And in the very dry year, that is started from 1997 to 2010. In this very dry period, we say it's minimal drought. The half of the water at the runoff to the ocean. Even so, the number is also very high because Australia is very dry. So during this period, our agriculture environment had big problems, and our government say it is time for me to react to the climate change. How to do? In 2007, Australian government had the Water Act. They decided to use so much money, 13 billion Australian dollars, to buy back the water from farmers. Say, brother, please close your farmers. And then you can live in I give you a lot of money, and then you can go to Sydney, Melbourne to live. go to big cities. And then so much money they spend. In 2012, our government proposed the basin plan. The basin plan says by this year, 2019, we should have additional 2750 gigaliter of water back to the system, river system, for environment. Probably in Australia, also same. Environment is important. So last year was 2019. And then this government's target set on this year for this money, and so much water should back to the river systems from farmers. But unfortunately, last year was a dry year. How dry? 20 millimeter per year of the rainfall. This rainfall is even less than your Sahara desert rainfall, average rainfall. That means last year, Australia, we had the bushfire, and also we had the water problems. First one, we observe fish, large scale fish dead. This is the problems. So environment does not improve because of the water. You can see, I hope you can see this one.
Choosing insurance? Buy a home or car insurance policy and Amy Flexi.
All right.
Perch, bass, carp. Cod. All the way as far as you can see. This is in the big hole above the golf course.
All right, now you can see our government has spent so much money to improve the river ecosystem, but this target was not achieved. Very sad. And another, this is the last year beginning. Last year, December, end of the last year, and then the farmers are also very angry.
Have had no river water for their crops and stock, and no response from Canberra's politicians.
We pay a water bill every year, whether we get our water or not.
The water's running high beside our land and we can't get it.
The Deputy Prime Minister certainly got the point.
The National Party is not going to exist after the next election unless you grow some spine.
Now Canberra has ordered a review of the Murray-Darling Basin plan.
We're going to be transparent and rebuild the trust that has been lost in some parts.
If this plan isn't right for New South Wales, well then we would walk away.
To make it right, New South Wales is demanding Canberra not take an extra 450 gigalitres of water, almost as much as Sydney Harbour. Lift barrages in South Australia so seawater can flow back into the system at Lake Alexandrina, and to count basin evaporation water that's been returned to the environment.
we need to ensure that we do the right thing by our communities.
A New South Wales and Victorian review, which was commissioned after the federal government opted out, is due shortly. But the government and farmers will now have to wait for the federal minister's belated report, which is due at the end of March. Sean Berry, 7.
Now you can see our this Murray-Darling River Basin plan doesn't work. We have two targets. One, we should have good ecosystem. We don't achieve this one. We didn't achieve this one at all. The second one, our target, we try to reduce the water for farmers, and then we have social problems. Our farmers are unhappy, and our politicians are unhappy. So now we have to ask, this one could happen in India also. If we ask farmers to give water to the ecosystem, to the river system, and then our farmers will lose their jobs, their output. How to solve this problem? Today I will show you what things we can do. Okay, now let's look at it. Previously, what's wrong for this river basin plan? Plan is perfect because it is based on upstream water management. No attention to the downstream water management. What means upstream water management? I have to give the definition. In the history, in Australia and India also, we built the dam here and the wheels here, and then we use the water uses, now the water source here or here. This one, we say upstream water management. But in future, we have to build coastal reservoirs in the sea, and then here is fresh water source. And we also should have farmers to concentrate around our water sources. But unfortunately, Australia does not have this one. Our Murray-Darling River Basin plan, basin plan, does not look at downstream water management plan. Our government always keep the eye, try to develop the dams here, but now in Australia, no any new dams because environmental problems. Every time government want to build a dam, our local people stand up, say stop. And in future, we have to build our dams in the sea. How much water we have globally every year? We have so much water every year lost to the ocean. For this one, originally Indian engineers currently only knows how to build dams in the upstream here. In future, our coastal engineer should build the dams in the sea. How to build this one? We have two ways to go. One, first generation coastal reservoir. We have barrage here, and then we have the fresh water here. This one we say first generation coastal reservoir. But this one has some problems. What kind of problems? We say water quality problems and environmental problems. So we have to improve this one. We say second generation coastal reservoir. We will use the sea space to store fresh water. If you have high quality water in flood season, and I will open this one, and high quality water come to here. Otherwise, poor quality water will be discharged to the ocean. We give the definition for coastal reservoir. A fresh water reservoir inside the seawater. This one, what we say, coast reservoirs. So in future, your grandchildren's textbook will say reservoirs will have two types of coast reservoirs. One is inland dams. That is original from USA in 1930s. The second one is coast reservoirs in the seas. The reservoirs in the sea, originally from Netherlands and Australia. This Murray-Darling River Basin's mouth. Australian government already built this one to here, but unfortunately, they don't know to develop the users surround the water source. The inland dams and the coast reservoirs. We have different association. For the dams, we have two international one. Till very recent, we have the International Association for Coast Reservoir Research, ISCR. This one will dominate the future. I had a very successful experience in Shanghai, China. In 2005, I published a paper, says coast reservoirs for Shanghai. 3 years later, Qinchaosha coast reservoir started its construction. Now, 23 million people drink water from coast reservoirs without desalination. This is Shanghai government gave me the award. This is the newspapers report. Okay, now let's go back to Australia. Murray-Darling River Basin. Our basin plan by our government says, okay, look at the yellow color. This irrigation area of farmers. This all are in the upstream of our rivers upstream. Because we have the dams, wheels surround this place. So we have the farmers. And then $13 billion has been spent to buy water from the farmers. And our target is to so much water by this year. This government's plan. Say, farmers, I give you money. How much money I give to you? So much money. And you close your business, and then you will live in Sydney and Melbourne. Close your business. Because Australian population is not very high. Australian government has an assumption. Without the food, it's okay, no problem for me. I can import from India. I can import the food from USA or other places. Because in terms of dollar, farmers' contribution are too much. Only 2% of Australia GDP. So the government encourage our farmers to close their business and then to reduce the water. Before the basin plan, farmers use so much water. Now they ask farmers, you use less water for your agriculture, and then the remaining so much water for agriculture, for the ecosystem. This government's plan. Consequently, we have someone close the business in the upstream, and then curtains mainly in the north part of Murray-Darling Basin. Last year, so dry, very, very dry. The news reporters found that the upstream's dam was full because the farmers didn't want to release the water to the rivers. So this is why the river fish is dead. They don't have water. And in the outlet of the Murray-Darling River Basin, here the Murray River, here, and this is the ocean, they already have the barrages, 5 barrages to change this one into freshwater reservoir, coast reservoir. Already have. So we can say Australia government, one side is very good, very smart, world leader for coast reservoirs construction. But on another side, government is not so smart because they don't know in upstream dams water sources. They know how to import the farmers surround the water source. But here, they don't have any farmers to develop this area as our farmers. Look at here, so they don't have the second step, water users surround the coast reservoirs. So as Indian people, you have to think about this one to get this nation from India, Australia. You have to build the coast reservoirs first, and then the second step, you should have the farmers, cities, water users to surround your water source around your coast reservoirs. This is the salinity in this coast reservoirs. In this coast reservoir, over the 100 years, almost 100 years before they built the barrages, the salinity is very, very high. Come to here, so high. After they finish the construction of these barrages, and then the salinity below 800 EC. 800 EC is Australia's standard for drinking purpose. Only in very dry period, this place, some place, the salinity is higher than 800 EC, but less than 1000 EC. That is for agriculture. So now I have to give the definition. What means upstream water management? I say upstream water management is an open system. That means you have the river water come to the and then go to the ocean. This is the if we continue to use this one in India and in Australia, we can solve the problem. You already see Australia has done a very expensive license for you. That means Murray-Darling Basin plan. They already did this one. That is the open system. You have to increase more water to the river system, and then this water will be lost to the ocean. That means we say Australian government this one says billions liters of water flowing out to the sea. And upstream farmers suffer through drought. They don't have water. Farmers quite unhappy, angry. And then our government's basin plan always focus on how to increase the water to the ocean. That means because it is an open system. Now we have to use another way. We have to say it is closed system. That means I have the water users here, and then the high quality water come to here. This water will be used for our farmers. So now here, and reduce this one to the ocean. All the poor quality, after you farm your irrigate your farmers, and then poor quality water will be discharged to the ocean. That is okay. So your water come to your coast reservoir first, and then go back. This one, we say, this is our solution. Downstream management. If all the farmers here, all the farmers end their business in the upstream, and then concentrate, surround this area, and then we say our agricultural development has no any impact on the river ecosystems. You will not be able to see that our farmers, when they hold the water, even our fish start to die. These farmers will say, okay, you can discharge the water to the ocean. You can release the water to the river system for your ecosystem, no problem. So the farmer and the farmers and the environmentalists will work together. So this is what we have to say. And especially I have to say, okay, we say coastal reservoir is the solution for environment and agriculture. So currently we have overdeveloped the water resource in upstream. Our farmer dams look at the irrigation areas in upstream. We have very less or almost no agriculture surround the coastal reservoir here. This is what we say in the world, the first coastal reservoirs in the world. If we can convince our government, our farmers, all move down, surround here, and then we will have no impact. Our agricultural development has zero impact for our rivers ecosystem. This ideal case. In reality, I have to say that is impossible for every farmer agrees to do so. But at least if 1/3 of our farmers agree to move down to continue their business, especially our government already paid so much money to ask the farmers to end their business and move to Sydney and Melbourne for to change their life. If they want to continue their business, we can say, yes, you're welcome. You are welcome to continue your business in somewhere surrounded here. Look at here, this one. 1,000 EC. All this water is good for agriculture. That means if we fully develop this area surrounding our coastal reservoir as our farmlands, our water loss to the ocean will be minimized. So this is what we say the downstream management. This so here is our what we say is the coastal reservoir. This is Darling River, Murray-Darling River joined together. This is the coastal reservoir here. If we say here is 400 meter, and this one very flat area, 400 kilometer. This area, this total area is much larger than this areas combined together. So we have enough water, we have enough land for our farmers to develop their agriculture. So now we have to ask, first step, we finish all this agriculture business upstream and move down to this place. And then our farmers need the water, never use the water from the rivers directly, but from the pipe, pumping system from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. Possible or impossible? Maybe for you to think about it. The first one is impossible. The pumping cost too high. Pipeline requirement too much. But in reality, the answer is not. Because as I said, this place is very flat. The land difference from here to here, 30 meters only. Very flat. Look at the Israel. The farm, the land area, irrigated area will be the same, almost same. They have to pump water from here to here to here to here. How long? 130 kilometers. And from this source, what freshwater source? Even they say the Sea of Galilee. This is a freshwater lake, like this lake. But the difference for Israel is this water level below the sea level 200 meters. they still can pump the water from here over 130 kilometers. So for Australia, it is pumping cost compared to this one is negligible. So that means if we allow every drop of the water come back to the river first and then flow to the coast reservoir. After in very dry year, after this one, and then I use pump. I use pump and pipelines for agriculture in this area. I will have zero impact on agriculture for our environment flow, for our ecosystems. So we have the win-win solution. Downstream water management, we have the win-win solution for food and also for our ecosystems. Especially this one important, as I said, why our government says, farmers, you have to close your business because the contribution to the GDP is very small. But this one will be changed by coronavirus. After this one, so many newspapers already said self-sufficiency for food is very important. So in the future, I can imagine Australia will build the coast reservoirs, and the coast reservoirs will divert from to the upstream, 200 kilometer or 100 kilometer or whatever. The same thing for India. India, I love PM Modi. I know the words he said exactly true. Water is precious. No one has the right to waste. But in reality, India discharged too much water to the ocean. And another side, we said we don't have enough water. So in future, Professor Sisana proposed we will have the coast reservoirs and we should link together and to form a, he said, IIT Guwahati's director, Professor Sisana, said Salwa Mana, this one, necklace. This will be the first step, as I said. If you only build the coast reservoirs and link together, still not enough. Still not enough. You have to ask the farmers come to this region. You have to ask the cities, industrial pollution, air pollution in New Delhi to move their business come to here. In another way, we should have the downstream management, water management for the coast reservoirs, this region. So if we do that, our air quality in New Delhi will be improved because our water, wastewater, solid waste, and the gas waste will be reduced. So they are polluted industry and agriculture should be developed in this region also. More than that, we can do the business with this country. This country is very rich in oil, but we are rich in water. And we can do the business with this one. We supply the water to this region, Iraq, Iran, and Saudi Arabia, and then they give us the oil for free. Because UAE already start to build to tow icebergs from South Pole to UAE. Why not for us to provide water from here to UAE? Very simple, very easy, and very cheap. And for the non-distance pipe is in terms of technology is nothing new. So this is why I say we should have the farmers and the agricultures and urban cities around the Indian's coast area. And we should have very strong East Coast economic corridor. Now already we have the corridor, but unfortunately because we don't have water, this one development very slow. But I hope in future we solve the water first, and the second step we should have water uses around the coast area. We will have very strong coast economic corridor in India. So this is the Indian, because of Indian Chennai as an example. If you don't have enough stable water supply, the international capital is very hard to move to India. So we have to solve this problem first. So finally, I need to say we already have this ISCR, as I said. Our job is to provide sufficient, high quality, and affordable water to the world with minimum environmental and social impact. Different from the upstream water management. The upstream water management has very big, bad environmental impact to the ecosystem and to the social. Australia's 2019 last year's experience already showed this one. So if you look at the ICR and the other groups are totally different. Other group says not enough water, and we say we have enough water. Other people says flood water can be developed. We say flood water is also water resources. Other people says your water storage can be only constructed in freshwater environment. We say water storage can be also constructed inside the sea. Other development always say, if you ask me to provide you water, and then we will have a high environmental social impact. And we say minimum environment social impact. Other people allow the water, high quality rainwater dump drains to the north to the sea, and we conserve rainwater in the sea. Other group says if you want to increase your food output, you will decrease the environmental flow. We say two of them have no relationship. You can increase the food output and then without any impact for your environment. We can achieve this one. So we already have the ICR workshop, and we have the water conference the next year, and then we have last year we have the workshop in here and also in your university. Very lucky. Okay, finally, I need to finish my talk. I say India and Australia are not running out of water. Water is running out of our river mouths. Flood water is also developable resources. Our water crisis is not caused by water shortage, but storage shortage. Freshwater storage in seawater environment is feasible. ISCR help Australia and India drink natural water from heaven. Other people let you drink artificial water from unknown sources, maybe your toilet. We say Australia, India see us our for this see us our preliminary research shows downstream water management has very little environmental impact, can secure our full product. For young engineers should stand up and lead the world to achieve SDG 6. Thank you very much. And before I finalize this one, I'd like to share with you my another video to welcome all of you to join us. Let me see.
Water, the most precious resource on earth. Only 2.5% of world's water resource is fresh water, and out of that, only 1% is easily accessible, remaining trapped in glaciers. World receives about 1,000 millimeter average annual rainfall, and considerably large amount of fresh water from precipitation just flow into the sea, mixing with salt water. At one side, large quantity of fresh water flow into the sea, and other side, people struggle to meet their water demands. The erratic distribution of rainfall events in upstream catchments cannot be stored by land-based reservoirs. The issues associated with the land acquisition and displacement of people make it difficult to construct large dams on land. The coastal reserve concept emerges as best alternative of freshwater storage. The reservoir construct at the mouth of the river in the sea can tap the fresh water during floods and allow the river water flow into the sea the rest of the year. Coastal reservoirs can meet the water demands of nearby cities and also improve the coastal livelihoods. Civilization around the world developed at the locations with fresh water available. A coastal reservoir has the potential to transform neglected and polluted coastal region to a sustainable green freshwater township, self-sufficient in energy through solar, wind, and wave energy. Let's save water, let's save future. International Association for Coastal Reservoir Research.
Okay, I welcome all of you to join us. Thank you very much. Hello.
Professor Shu-Qing.
How about the timing? Hey, how about the timing?
It's okay, it's fine.
Okay.
By 12:30. If any participants may be asking some questions, please try to clarify them.
Yeah, please.
Can you see that question?
Yeah. What will be the effect of coastal reservoir on environmental flow? Okay, as I said, currently we use the dam. The dam reduce the environmental flow. This is a big problem for Australia last year. Our farmers use the water, and then our river flow, our fish dead. If we have the coastal reservoirs, if our water users are concentrated in the downstream, in the beach near our coastal reservoirs, we will have zero impact for our environmental flow. And then, on the other hand, our farmers, our water users, our agriculture, everybody will also have enough water to use. So we solve this problem. I don't know whether I answer Professor Nao's question or not. What is the cost analysis for inside the cost result can country like India afford? All right, India now is trying to build some new dams. The new dams normally are very expensive. First one, the infrastructure is very expensive. 100-meter dam, can you imagine the concrete very, very big, and then the cost is very high. More importantly, you have to relocate the people, and you have to acquire their land to flood for your dam construction. That is more expensive compared to the dam construction. Our cost reservoirs cost is negligible, very, very small. First one, normally 10-meter high dike. That is very cheap by earth. The second one, we don't have the cost to relocate our people. So this one normally very expensive if you want to remove the people from this place to another place, and then normally this cost is very expensive. But this one, we don't have this cost. How the sediment load for the catchment could be minimized to reduce siltation process. All right. We say for our dam or coast reservoirs development, we have to meet one principle, that is sustainable development. Based on the definition, the sustainable development means, okay, you can meet this generation people's water demand, and will not affect your next generations, your grandchildren's generations demand. But for unfortunately, for our dam, our inland dams, if we build this one, yes, we can serve us for the water, but sedimentation problems. That means your next generation, your 100 years later, is sealed, and then the next generation people had no water to drink, no place to drink. Our coast reservoir is different from our inland dams. Our coast reservoir, yes, we also have the sedimentation problems. Over 100 years, also will be sealed. But we can build another coast reservoir nearby this coast reservoir in the sea, because the size of the sea is unlimited. We can extend to the ocean. We can build another coast reservoirs. So this land is fully sealed, this coast reservoir, and we can develop this land for the city, for the farmers to use. And we will build another coast reservoir. So we have every generation that can build their new coast reservoir for their demand. So this is why we say only coast reservoir is a sustainable solution for future. If we construct coast reservoirs, then upland reservoir, more energy is required to feed water even to the midland. In that case, is acceptable in economic point of view. All right. Yes, if you build a upstream dam, you can get this water distribution by gravity. And if we use the coast reservoir, we have to use pump. And as I show you the example in Israel, they have to pump water from the lake 200 meters below the sea level, and then they still can survive. So I believe this one we need to do the calculation, and then to make this one, to make our farmers or the water users profitable. Normally, from the coast reservoir to the water users, this pumping cost, I believe, is acceptable in most conditions. But coast reservoir protect the shoreline from definitely, yes, of course. And last year we have a workshop in Taiwan, and our Taiwan's researchers and government officers also highlighted another point of view, because Taiwan always has the earthquake, tsunami, and then they found that if they build the upstream dam in the mountain, that's very dangerous for the people. If we build the coast reservoir, they feel very safe for the people. And also, if in the case of the tsunami, and then they will feel this is one more layer, one more beach to protect the property. So you are right. We can protect this coast erosion. Any other questions? What is the main criteria for constructing coast reservoir? The coast reservoir will protect the shoreline. Yes, as I just mentioned, the coast reservoir will protect the shoreline from one side, flood. Another side is from the ocean, tsunami or cyclones, tornadoes. And the main criteria is your incoming water, and how about the water uses, how much water from your river you have. But I know in India, as I said, a huge amount of water is lost to the ocean. This is an empty area for the people, especially the young student, to work for your next generation. What will be the influence of drought on physiological parameter and oxidized stress of the I'm now very clear for the parameters you are talking about. what will be the? I don't understand this question very well. Professor Reddy, can you explain to me what's the influence of the
Yeah.
drought?
So they would like to know the physiological parameters and oxidative stress on water body.
You mean
The chemical quality of the water.
the quality of the water, right?
Maybe better. Siva may be having a better idea than.
Maybe you're talking about the algal blooms or oxygen.
Yes.
Oh, okay. This one is quite similar to your dam. For your dam, every year you store your water in the months in the wet rainy seasons, and then for your dry seasons to use. And then same thing, we will use the rainy seasons water for your dry seasons, and then we say detention time. The detention time almost the same. The water quality will be the same. So if you observe algal blooms in your dams, and then you will not observe the algal blooms in your coastal reservoirs. Why? Because your coastal reservoirs will only send the base quality of water to your coastal reservoir. Zero polluted water will come to your coastal reservoirs, because I say for the second generation coastal reservoirs will only send the high quality water for storage. But for your dams, you have to take high quality water in rainy season, and in dry season, the wastewater also come to your dams to mix together, so you will have the algal blooms. I answered the question, lady. This is the question.
Okay. If there are no questions, let us thank Professor Shu-Qing, a pioneer in coastal reservoir research, because it is his brainchild. The concept was developed, they also patented for that.
Yeah.
And he is traveling across the world propagating this about coastal reservoirs, especially the concept of coastal reservoir has been more suited for the Indian scenarios, Indian river scenarios, because we have a long coastline, about 7,500 kilometers. Many rivers are joining along the coastline. And he's also doing some feasibility report and also some project for the Mangalore city. Is it right, Professor Shu-Qing?
Yes.
Mangalore city, we have done elaborate detailed project work also.
Yeah.
So he has also designed the few, coastal reservoirs, different countries in the Southeast Asia, in Asian countries especially. And he has a lot of experience on that. And I think he has explained many concepts on coastal reservoirs. And on behalf of the Department of Civil Engineering and on behalf of the participants, I would like to thank profoundly to Professor Shu-Qing. And if there is an opportunity in future also, we will try to listen his lectures and different aspects of the coastal reservoirs, climate change, water quality, and water management. And now I request our co-convener, Dr. Jairam Reddy Garu, to say some few words on that.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir. Sir, wonderful lecturer, sir.
Thank you.
Lecture on water management river basin, and also first and second generation coastal reservoir, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It is patent, but it is free for Indian to use. It is free for Indian to use because I feel I'm an Indian. Also, I need to contribute my people. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
To say, Professor Shu-Qing, we also did one MTech project on the coastal reservoirs in Sharda River near to the Visakhapatnam. If time permits, I'll share you that report also.
Yeah.
One of my scholar,
Okay,
his
sir.
postgraduate student has done MTech thesis on the coastal reservoir on Sarada River.
Yeah.
Sarada River, sir.
Sarada River near Visakhapatnam, Anakapalli.
Okay.
And he's also editor of the magazine, right? Prof.Shu-Qing.
Yes.
Hydrolink, or what is the magazine that?
Yeah.
Can you show some details on that magazine to the participants?
Okay, I have something to say. First one, we like to invite all of you to join together. First one to join ISCR as a member. We work together. Professor Reddy already the member, and then we can work together for research proposals and PhD, and then also our teaching. And we also have this newsletters. I welcome you to contribute your ideas to our newsletters for our ICR ward members to share. And Professor Sisana and myself also contributed. Professor Sisana, IIT Guwahati director, is the editor. And also we will have this design manual and other publications. We would like to invite you to join together. We will work together. Next year, originally this year, I'd like to invite Professor Reddy come to here, also Hehai University. We're going to organize the international first conference on coastal reservoir. I'd like to invite you to join all these events.
Yeah, sure. We will join. Definitely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. How is Professor Siva?
Yeah. Good.
Fine,
now
good.
We're working in this one for Australia.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Shu-Qing Yang.
Thank you.
Giving wonderful lecture. I think we will sign off this. Next speaker will be, we have to arrange for the arrangements.
Okay.
Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you. Bye.
Yes. Sir, ready garu antena?
Sir, just next to 2 next malla 140 start chestam.
All the participants are informed that next lecture will be exactly at 2 p.m. today, 14 hours, and the lecture will be by the MK Srinivas Garu, Chief Engineer, KG Basin, Central Water Commission, Hyderabad. He will be talking on impact of climate change on water resources of India. He will give you the scenario, glimpses of entire water resources in Indian scenarios. He has a very good field experience in KG Basin, and also in the water resources potential and distribution across the India and Indian rivers. So till then we will sign off, and we will again join by 2 p.m. today, exactly at 14 hours. Sir, Jairam Reddy sir, inkem cheppala? Feedback gurinchi.
Okay, sir.
Feedback gurinchi, sir.
Feedback ఇస్తున్నారు అనుకుంటా సార్.
చరణ్ ఏమన్నా చెప్తారా feedback గురించి?
Already provided feedback.
Hello?
Sir, already provided feedback, sir.
చరణ్, హలో.
Sir.
కొంతమంది ఫస్ట్ లెక్చర్ ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ మళ్ళీ అడుగుతారు.
హలో చరణ్.
Sir. Sir.
Feedback anta చరణ్.
Feedback already provided, sir.
Okay, fine.
Okay, second session.
Second also provided.
Okay.
Third 145 చరణ్, 145 కు స్టార్ట్ చేస్తామా?
Yes, sir.
145 150 నేను సార్కి ఫోన్ చేసి చెప్తాను రెడీగా ఉండమని.